You're listening to Real Investor Radio with Craig Fuhr and Jack Bevere, where we cover advanced real estate investing topics to help you stay ahead of the curve in your real estate investing business. Hey, it's Craig and Jack from Real Investor Radio. We're going to do a quick hit on yesterday's report, stunning report, Jack, that came out from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics. This is not conjecture, Jack. This is actual facts that came out from our government, where they released a significant revision to their job growth data over the past year. So the report revealed that the U.S. economy added 800, and I like how they say added 818,000 jobs fewer than what was reported initially between the months of March 23 to March 24. So that, by the way, Jack, was one of the largest decreases in the reported data. It was a miss by 30%. So they basically, it happens every month, right, Jack? They release the sort of the employment data, jobs reports, and normally those numbers get revised a month or two later, and to no news reports whatsoever, right? So the Bureau comes out with like, yeah, we added 140,000 jobs, missed our mark by whatever, and then we find out a few months later to no news that they missed it by maybe 1%, whatever. This was a miss, Jack, by 30%. It was the largest miss year over year in the data since 2009, and it was significant. So
well, did they give a reason for why the miss was so large? Because like that's a shockingly large error, right?
Yeah, it is a shockingly large error, and I didn't unfortunately get into the entire. I don't have the entire story in front of me, but I think what it signals, Jack, and we're just doing a little quick 5-minute hit here. I'd love to get your take on it. You and I have talked about sort of Fed rate cuts. We were all exuberant at the beginning of the year when Powell said there will be 3 cuts this year, then came out and obviously said, well, we've kind of got inflation under control and people are still working. And so we're just going to kind of continue where we are with rates and in this higher rate environment. I think this signals, Jack, when the Fed meets on September the 19th, which is just a couple weeks from now and 3 weeks from the election. I think it signals maybe a better than a 25 bips rate cut from the Fed. What do you think?
Do you think that inflation's under control?
No, I think when the government comes out and says we're at 3% or whatever, I don't think the average American feels that. I think they walk into the grocery store and they see eggs up 50% and bacon up 50% and gas is at $3.69 and energy is up, to heat your homes or cool your homes is up 50%. Car insurance is up 50%. All of those things, I think the average American still feels. And I don't know that 3 weeks before an election, when they reduce rates by maybe 50 bips, we'll see. I don't know that that's going to be fast enough to sort of get, I think the news will be reporting all about that and create an exuberance in the market. But no, I don't think the average American feels a 3% a year inflation rate right now. Yeah, I think they feel something more significant.
Yeah, me neither. And that was my that's been my opinion of I doubt we'll get a rate cut this year.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably get one now, given what the jobs data has done. But I'm not so convinced that inflation's fully under control. And so I feel like that's like the counter, the jobs data coming out not as strong suggests rate cuts, but I don't know. I'm not convinced that the inflation is fully under control to allow them to do something like that. So
yeah,
I mean, we're all just crystal ball in here right now, but like I'm gonna guess just a single 25 bip drop, and then we'll see. But those two things are like, right? We have like tenuous inflation and weak jobs and election season. Like that's a I do not envy Chairman Powell right
It's
now.
a cauldron of crap that he has to navigate through to navigate the country to a soft landing that they're hoping for. So, yeah. Well, we'll keep an outlook on that. I think it's interesting. Obviously, Jack, we've seen a significant decrease in the 5-year, which has caused the DSCR loans that we do here at Dominion to be, priced better. Look, we're quoting 70% DSCR right now at 6.25, and 75 in most cases at 6.5, 6 point, and so we haven't seen those types of rates, which has created a real exuberance for guys looking to refi, or I'm sorry, investors looking to refi. The phones are ringing off the hook here at Dominion, but I still like, Jack, quick take, because we're hearing from a lot of investors now that guys who have onesie twosies, and we get calls every day from folks with portfolios that they want to refi, and we're quoting rates, Jack, that we haven't seen in 2 years with 6 handles on them, right? And there's a lot of guys that are going like, yeah, that's great. It's exciting. I really feel it. But we think that the rates are going to continue to slide. We really see the Fed coming out and doing something in September. And I think our argument is, well, these are all priced off of the 5-year, index. And so what's your take on guys that are just like, yeah, I like that 6 handle, feels really good, but we're gonna sit on the sidelines and still wait to see, gamble, play gunslinger, and see if they still continue to slide.
I'm not. I'm looking forward to doing the next refi for Dominion, because I'm locking in the win.
Yep.
At these rates, like, debt service coverage works again. Like, it's real when you get in the low and mid sixes, for at least for the properties that we're buying. So I think that trying to time the market is a tough thing. Also, just given all the risk factors that are happening right now, the things that we just talked about, right? Like the combination of inflation being sticky and jobs being weak. I feel like locking in some wins is kind of a good idea, and going into an election season, locking in some wins is a prudent thing to do.
Yeah.
I've also gotten some feedback from like New York folks, basically, who are saying that as we get closer to the election, they think that Wall Street will start to price things wider, like the credit spreads will actually widen out.
Sure.
Because because people literally don't know what's going to happen at this point. Like, it's a race right now, right? And depending on who you are and where you line up, like, there's going to be winners and losers in this election.
Yep.
And so people, I think that the things might get priced, that risk might get actually priced into things as we get closer to the election. I think right now it's not really priced in, or that pricing, or those risks aren't in the pricing right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's for me right now. I'm encouraged to act right now. I'm concerned that that it came down too far. Like, it came down really far, really
fast. Yeah.
And I'm concerned. I'm worried about the bounce back.
What's your take? Yeah. So for, setting the risk aspect aside for the folks who buy these notes, what do you think about the notion of, I mean, if the rates slide a little bit more, maybe there's a floor and we increase the index to capture more revenue? I mean, it's not necessarily just a risk thing. It's like, hey, this is a real opportunity for us to make more bips on these notes that we're buying, right?
Yeah, they could. There's and only the competition amongst the insurance companies versus the securitization shops is keeping that in check. Right now, the insurance companies are basically like, gotten their elbows out and said, hey, no, we're going to go do $5 billion this year of DSCR. And so they've kind of bought the market from a rate point of view. If they change their mind, but that's, if they change their mind, well, they can, they can. So it's also not the DSCR rates right now, that's something worth mentioning. The DSCR rates right now are a function of the insurance companies wanting DSCR loans. and they made allocations for 2024 that they make annual allocations, right? Like that's how insurance companies work. We're going to go put $3 billion into this product at this return profile. And so January 1, 2025, new ball game, right? And that'll be post-election too, right? Yeah. And they can make a completely different asset allocation decision for 2025 and be like, no, we're good. Like we've got, we had the best of it. Like, we think we did the best of it. Like, we'll let Wall Street start to buy that stuff. You know what? We're going to go start buying corporate debt, right? Because we think the returns over there are better. And all of a sudden the insurance bid disappears or gets much thinner. Well, rates go up 50 basis points in DSCR immediately. So it's not a liquid. It's liquid, but it's not as liquid as your 30-year residential consumer mortgage, right?
Correct.
It's a unique product. And so that the insurance companies are so aggressive about this product right now, that's the reason for rates being where they are right now. The 5-year, it moves with the 5-year, but they're artificially low right now. Like the insurance companies are underbidding the Wall Street bid. And that's unique. That doesn't happen. Like that's not normal. Like that's an aberration. Like, and they know it. They know that they are underbidding the market. So I'm not taking that for granted, is my point. Like while that's happening, like while somebody has said, hey, I'm going to overpay for that, right? Overpay for that paper by offering a lower rate than I should.
Yep.
I'm a seller when somebody's an aggressive buyer like that.
So I'm going to nail you down for a prediction. You just mentioned, they allocate this bucket of capital on, say, Jan 1 of 2024. We're going to buy $3 billion of DSCR notes. What's your prediction, Jack, for the allocation that insurance companies make for that market in 2025, January 2025?
Well,
I'll give you an easy one first. Will it be bigger? Will that allocation increase over 2024, or will it be smaller than 2024?
That's a hard one.
I love these.
I don't know. The answer is I don't know.
Of course. It's a prediction.
But on the good side of things, default rates have stayed low.
Right.
So so far. A recession and lower rates. So if we have a recession and lower rates, then it could go down because the insurance companies won't be as excited about the rate that they're getting, the interest rate that they're getting. And they'll be like, I'm getting low sixes. I can get low sixes lots of places
that are maybe more stable.
Yeah. And if if a recession causes default rates to increase, now I'm getting a lower rate, and I'm getting a lower rate because the 5 years lower, and I've actually got default risk now. I'm actually having some defaults. So in a downside economy scenario, I think there's a real risk that it goes down, and then as a result, DSCR rate, like the insurance bid, is a thinner bid, and then and as a result, rates to borrowers go up. Because there's less insurance money chasing that paper.
Right.
If the economy continues to hum along and the 5-year just stabilizes here or goes back up a little bit, then I could see it staying the same or maybe even increasing because they're like, hey, no, this is just great paper. But I feel like the former is a real risk.
So for those of you listening, that was Jack hedging his bets and not really making the exact prediction based on his market knowledge. So what is the prediction, Jack? Up or down? January 1st, 2025.
Yeah, well,
does the bucket increase or does the bucket decrease?
I didn't want to. You made me think about that downside scenario, which I'm worried about. I think that's a real risk. So I don't like that thought. Like I don't like to think about that.
No, it's not a good thought.
People don't like to think about downside things, right? That they as a result they underestimate them. So yeah, then I'm going to say based off of that. DSCR rates. I'm going to say DSCR rates may have bottomed. Like the that this is peak, that this is the best it gets for borrowers from a credit spread point of view.
That is an interesting prediction. And frankly, there are many reasons for me to feel the same. Without getting into market volatility, where we are in the world, crazy election season, wars breaking out everywhere. I think time will tell over the next 3 to 4 months where we end up in 2025. So that was an interesting discussion, quickie for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Jack, thank you for the time. This is Real Investor Radio. We'll see you on the next one.